Good morning. In this lecture, I want to discuss about renewable energy. Okay. So when I want to discuss about renewable energy sources, I can tell here that there may be various renewable energy options available. Okay. And most of the renewable energy sources have their origin from sun actually. Okay. You can understand when I will see the diagram here. You can understand. Okay, I have written or I have drawn the flow of different renewable energy options. Okay, in my first option it is solar. So we know which solar, that is photovoltaic and solar thermal are the process by which we are getting solar energy. Then wind energy, then biomass. Okay, biomass may be thermal or thermochemical process or biochemical process. We are generating electrical energy. Similarly, the next one is hydro. This is also renewable energy. So this is a hydro. When we are talking about hydro, because hydro will be depend upon your water. So here this type of sources are coming under renewable energy sources. Okay. Similarly, the next one geothermal. Okay, and obviously oceanic. That is here when I am talking about oceanic. In this process, we can tell waves, tidal or OTC. So these are the processes by which we can generate electrical energy. Okay. So now I want to talk about solar. Okay. So when I'm talking about solar, my here actually in this course or in unit 1, when I have to talk about, I have to talk about solar energy. Okay. So already see the diagram, you can understand here that when you are talking about solar, so we are depending upon photovoltaic cells or solar thermal process by which we can generate electrical energy from the solar radiation. Okay, so now I want to discuss about photovoltaic. Okay, or the photovoltaic system by which we are generating electrical energy from the solar radiation. So now come to solar photovoltaic system. So you know a photovoltaic system is composed of one or more solar panels combined with an inverter. See the diagram, you can understand. Okay, here I have shown the solar photovoltaic system. So in this system actually, when I have to explain it, I can tell the here a photovoltaic system is composed of one or more solar panels combined with an inverter and other electrical and mechanical hardware that use energy from the sun to generate electricity. Okay, so here I can tell the PV systems actually when the solar radiation is fall on your PV solar panel. Okay, then only you are getting electricity. So when the PV system can vary, when I'm talking about the PV system, we can tell these kind of PV systems can vary greatly in size from small rooftop or portable system to massive utility scale generation plants. That will be depends upon your generation capacity actually. So depends upon our generation capacity or depends upon our requirement, what is the amount of power we want to generate, we can tell here the size of the PV systems. Okay, and I told you here that the PV system can vary greatly, that is from small rooftop to or portable system to a massive utility scale system which are used in generating power plants. Voltage, when I am talking about the generating power plant which is based upon solar system, okay, there we are using massive scale of generation plant, means the photovoltaic system is very massive. Okay, now when I am talking about PV system, it can operate by themselves as off-grid PV system. This article this system focuses on the system connected to the utility grid or grid tied PV system. Okay, now I want to discuss how does this solar photovoltaic system works. Okay, so already you know we are getting light from the sun, so and this light is made of packets of energy which is called photons. Okay, and these photons or this light is falls onto a solar panel and creates an electric current through a process called the photovoltaic effect. Okay, here each panel produces a relatively small amount of energy but can be linked together with other panels to produce higher amount of energy as a solar energy. Okay, or as a solar array. The electricity produced from a solar panel or solar array is the form of direct current. Okay, that means when I am talking about the electricity we are getting from solar system, that is actually a DC power we are getting, or DC current we are getting. The current generated by the solar or photovoltaic cell is DC, and using many electronic devices use DC electricity. Okay, all as we are talking about the solar photovoltaic system's output, we are agree that from this solar photovoltaic cells we are getting direct current, and these may electronic although means here I am what I am to talk about. We know that many electronic devices use DC electricity, including our phone or laptop, but they are designed to operate using the electrical utility grid, which provides alternative current. Okay, means when we have to connect our devices, we are depending alternating current source. Okay, whether they are like I told you that phone or laptop are using DC, but still the input source for them is what? Alternating current. Okay, therefore in order to get in order to solar electricity to be useful in most cases, we have to convert that DC onto AC using an inverter. Then this AC electricity or electrical energy will, or this AC electricity from which inverter can be then be used to power electronics locally, or it can be sent onto the electrical grid for use anywhere or elsewhere. Okay, now I want to talk about system components which are used in solar photovoltaic system. So when we are talking about the solar panel system and its component, we can tell there are so many components of photovoltaic system which are commonly used, like inverters, racking, wiring, combiners, disconnects, circuit breakers, and electric meters. So these are the components normally we are using when we are talking about photovoltaic solar system. So now I want to talk about solar panel. Okay, this is the main component by which we are getting electricity from the solar radiation or photons of light. Okay, so when I'm talking about solar panel, a solar panel consists of many solar cells with semiconductor properties, okay, within a material to protect it from the environment. These properties enable the cell to capture light, or more specifically, the photons from the sun, and convert their energy into useful electricity through a process called photovoltaic effect. So due to the photovoltaic effect, we are getting solar energy from the photons of the light. Okay, on either side of the semiconductor is a layer of conducting material which collects the electricity produced. Okay, the illuminated size of the panel also contains an anti-reflection coating to minimize the losses due to reflection. Okay, because there is a possibility of loss of solar radiation, because when solar radiation falls on a plate or any kind of panel, if that will be reflected, then automatically due to the reflection of that, energy will be lost. So we'll keep attention that the reflection will be very less, by which you can minimize the energy loss due to reflection. The majority of solar panels produced worldwide are made of crystalline silicon, okay, which has a theoretical efficiency limit of 33% for converting the sun's energy into electricity. Okay, means the efficiency of silicon crystal used in solar panel is 33%, I am telling here. Okay, so many other semiconductor materials are also used, or solar cell technologies are used, or have been developed, that operate a higher efficiency. Like I told you, when I am using silicon crystalline, the efficiency of it is what, 33%. But we are trying to invent so many other semiconductor materials or solar technologies which can give us higher efficiency. Okay, but when I'm talking about those things, the cost of manufacture is very high in comparison to, or the cost of those technologies or the cost of those semiconductor materials are very high, or they are having very high cost to manufacture in comparison to photovoltaic system. Okay, now see the diagram, you can understand. So the next component of the next main component of the solar system is what? Inverter. So here I want to talk about inverter and its function. Okay, so I can tell an inverter is an electrical device which accepts electrical current in the form of direct current. Okay, and this inverter converts this DC current to alternating current or AC. That means inverter is converting DC system to AC system, or DC current to AC current. For solar energy system, this means the DC current from the solar energy is fed through an inverter, and the input of the inverter is what? The solar energy, which is, or DC current, or the DC power which is generated from the solar RH, and this will be fed to the input of the inverter, and this inverter converts it to AC, and the conversion is necessary to operate most electric devices or interface with the electrical grid. Okay, here I can tell inverters are important for almost all solar energy systems, and are typically the most expensive component after the solar panel themselves. Okay, that means when we are talking about the solar system, both the solar panel and inverter are of very high cost, and obviously these two components are the major components when we have to talk about the solar photovoltaic system. Now, most inverters have conversion efficiency of 90%. When you are talking about the efficiency of the inverters, okay, the efficiency of the inverter means, already you know that the inverters are converting the DC system to AC system. But when you are talking about the efficiency of the inverters, okay, their efficiency is what? Normally near about to 90% or higher, and it contains important safety features including ground fault, circuit interruption, and anti-ice landing. These shut down the PV system when there is a loss of grid power. Okay, because of the safety system, we are able to shut down the PV system when there is a loss of grid power, okay, by which we can protect the PV system or PV solar system, okay. Now the next component is what? Racking. Okay, racking refers to the mounting apparatus. Okay, because obviously we have to, when we have to make the solar photovoltaic system, we have to talk about the mounting apparatus here. Okay, because we have to mount all the solar panels and all, by which the solar panel will be at a good position to capture the photons of the light, okay. So here we are talking about the rackings. So racking refers to the mounting apparatus which fixes the solar arrays to the ground or rooftop, okay. And typically these rackings are constructed from steel or aluminum, and these apparatus mechanically fix the solar panels in place with a high level of precision. Means we are trying to place the solar panel at a very particular position by which the efficiency of the panel will be more. Means it can capture more photons from the light and can produce more electricity, okay, or can produce maximum electricity on its position, okay. So racking systems should be designed to withstand extreme weather events such as hurricane or tornado level wind speeds or high accumulation of snow. Another important feature of a racking system is to electrically bond and ground the solar array to prevent electrocution. Rooftop racking systems typically come in two variations, including flat roof systems and pitched roof system, okay. So this, when we are talking about the rooftop racking system, it may be flat rooftop system or pitched rooftop system, okay. And for flat rooftops, it is, when I'm talking about flat rooftop, okay, it is common for the racking system to include weighted ballast to hold the array to the roof using gravity. And when I'm talking about the pitched rooftop racking system must be mechanically anchored to the roof structure. And ground mounted PV systems, as shown in figure, I'm showing the figure here. I want to show a figure which can show the ground mounted PV system. 1 minute. So this figure shows a ground mounted racking system, okay. It can use either ballast or mechanical anchors to fix the array to the ground. Some ground mounted racking systems also incorporate tracking systems which use motors and sensors to track the sun through the sky, increasing the amount of energy generated at a higher equipment and maintenance cost. Now I want to talk about some other components which are used in solar photovoltaic system. So the remaining component of typical solar PV system includes combiners, disconnects, breakers, meters and wiring. A solar combiner, when I am talking about a solar combiner, this combiner combines two or more electrical cables into one larger one. And combiners typically include fuses for protection and are used on all medium to large and utility scale solar arrays. Now when I want to talk about disconnects. Disconnects are electrical gates or switches which allow for manual disconnection of an electrical wire. Okay, whenever disconnection is required, we can disconnect the system by using the disconnections. Okay, and obviously the combiners are, when you want to combine the system, then the combiners are required. So the next typically used on either side of an inverter, namely DC disconnect and AC disconnect. These devices provide electrical isolation when an inverter needs to be installed or replaced. Okay, now when I am to talk about the next component, it is circuit breaker. Okay, so the circuit breaker is a breaker which protect electrical system from overcurrent or surges. Then these circuit breakers actually designed to trigger automatically when the current reaches a predetermined amount. Okay, and breakers can also be operated manually, acting as an additional disconnect. Okay, that means breakers can be operated automatically or manually. Okay, when automatically, suppose we are talking about the automatically system, then we have to predefine the amount of current. Okay, and when we have to talk about manual operation, also manually you can break the circuit by using the breakers. Now the next component of the solar photovoltaic system is electric meter, and this electric meter measures the amount of energy that passes through it. Obviously, what is the function of meter? The function of meter is what? It will measure the electrical energy which passes. Okay, so this electrical meter measures the amount of energy that passes through it, and commonly used by electric utility companies to measure and charge customers. Okay, so based upon the units of power or based upon the electricity passes, we can, if we are talking about the economy, or if we are talking about the commercial point of view, electrical meter is highly essential, by which we can understand the utility amount of energy, and for that we can charge on the customers. Okay, now for solar PV system, a special bidirectional electric meter is used to measure both the incoming energy from the utility and the outgoing energy from the solar PV system. Finally, the last component is what? That is wiring. So wiring or electrical cables transport the electrical energy. What is the function of wiring? When we are connecting the conductors or cables, we can transport the energy from one place to another place. That is the function of wiring. Okay, that means we are trying to bring the power from one place to another by the conductor or cables. So when you are talking about the wiring or electrical cables, this transports the electrical energy from and between each components and must be properly sized to carry the current. Obviously, the wiring should be capable to carry the generated current from the solar photovoltaic system, and this wiring exposed to sunlight must have protection against UV exposure or ultraviolet exposure, and wires carrying DC current sometimes require metal sheeting for added protection. Okay. Now come to the next point of solar system, that is, or now come to the next system of solar, that is solar thermal. Okay, so see the figure, see the diagram. See the diagram. So this is a solar system. Okay. Normally when we are talking about the solar thermal power system, okay, the solar thermal power system use concentrated solar energy, okay, for the heating of the water. Okay, here we are trying to concentrate the solar energy, and this concentrated energy will help to heat the water, and by which the water will be converted to steam. Okay, we are trying to generate thermal energy here, okay, by concentrating the solar energy or solar radiation. Okay, so here when you are describing it, the solar thermal power generation system collects and concentrates sunlight to produce the high temperature heat needed to generate electricity. All solar thermal power systems have solar energy collectors with two main components, that is reflectors or mirrors, which capture and focus sunlight onto a receiver. Okay, in most types of system, see the diagram, you can understand. In most type of system, a heat transfer fluid is heated and circulated in the receiver and used to produce steam. Our aim is what? When we are talking about the solar thermal system, our aim is to produce steam. Okay, okay, and this steam is converted into mechanical energy in turbine. Okay, in our previous system we are talking about the photovoltaic system. There we are using the photovoltaic system for the direct generation of electrical energy from the solar photons or solar lights or solar radiations or photons of light, photons of the sunlight. But when we are talking about the solar thermal system, here we are trying to concentrate the solar radiation. Okay, and our aim is what? We are trying to produce steam. Okay, and this steam, once the steam will be produced, so the steam can be heat to the turbine for mechanical energy. Okay, that means like our thermal systems, what are you doing when you are talking about the thermal system? What are we doing? We are using, means our image what? By the input sources or burning of the, suppose I am talking about the fossil system, so we are burning the fossil fuels and heat was generated, or from the fossil fuels heat is generated there, and that heat is what? Because of that heat we are able to produce steam in the boiler. Okay, and that steam is passes towards or open at the turbine. Here also our aim is same. Here we are trying to concentrate the solar energy, okay, or solar photons, and by which we can generate more heat, and for that we can produce steam from the heat energy, and the steam is converted into mechanical energy in a turbine, which then powers a generator to produce electricity like our thermal systems. So solar thermal power systems have tracking systems that keep sunlight focused onto the receiver throughout the day as the sun changes position in the sky. Okay, and the solar thermal power plants usually have larger field of array of collectors that supply heat to a turbine and a generator. Several solar thermal power facilities are available in India or abroad, and these are of 2 or more solar power plants with separate arrays and generators. Solar thermal power systems may also have a thermal energy storage system, because for the night purposes, because when we are talking about the solar photovoltaic system, it is not possible to generate electricity in the night. But when we are making solar thermal system, we can store the thermal energy by making a storage of thermal energy system. Then we can use that energy in the night for the electricity generation. So this thermal energy components allows the solar collector system to heat an energy storage system during the day, and the heat from the storage system is used to produce electricity in the evening or during cloudy weather also, or maybe night also. Solar thermal power plants may also have hybrid systems that use other fuels. Okay, like because when we are talking about only solar systems or solar thermal system, we are using we are based upon the solar energy only. But we can make the hybrid system by using the other hybrid systems like other fossil fuels or natural gases, or the supplement energy form of the sun during periods of low solar radiation. Okay, when the solar radiation is low, at the time we can take the help of other fuels or natural gases as the supplementary sources of energy to produce electricity. Types of concentrating solar thermal power plants are linear concentrating system, which includes parabolic throws and linear Fresnel reflectors, and the other one is solar power towers, and the next one is solar dish engine system. Okay, so when you are talking about the first one, that is linear concentrating system, this linear concentrating system collects the sun's energy using long rectangular curved U-shaped mirrors. Okay, so when we are talking about the linear concentrating system, we are using rectangular curved U-shaped mirrors. Okay, and these mirror focus the sunlight onto the receiver. Okay, what is our aim here? Our aim is what we have to concentrate the solar lights by the help of mirrors. And when I am talking about the linear concentrating system, the shape of the mirror is rectangular curved U-shaped. Okay, and this mirror focuses sunlight onto the receiver, which run the length of the mirrors. The concentrated sunlight heats a fluid flowing through the tubes. Okay, receiver means what? When you are talking about the receiver of sunlight, that means the tubes in which water is present, those tubes will receive the sunlight, and that will be focused by the mirror. And here we are talking about the linear concentrating system. Here we are using rectangular curved or U-shaped mirrors. Okay, for the concentrating of the light and focusing of the sunlight onto the receiver or tubes. Okay, and the concentrated sunlight heat the fluid, means because the fluid is within the receiver or tubes, so the sunlight hits the fluid through the tubes obviously, and the fluid is sent to a heat exchanger to boil water. Okay, and this is a conventional system turbine generator to produce electricity. When we are talking about the solar thermal linear concentrating system, so in this system obviously you are trying to use a conventional system turbine generator setup to to produce electricity, because you know that when you are talking about the turbine generator system setup, so the turbine is in coupling with the rotor shaft of the rotor of the alternator, and as we are getting mechanical energy from the steam, and because of that the turbine will be rotated, so automatically from the output of the alternator we will get electrical energy, as the rotor of the alternator will also rotate based upon the, or as it is in coupling with the turbine, and this turbine is moving due to the steam which is heating to it, okay, or heating to the turbine, okay. And there are two major types of linear concentrator systems, that is parabolic throw systems, where receiver tubes are positioned along the focal line of each parabolic mirror, and linear Fresnel refractor systems. Another system is what? Linear Fresnel refractor system, and in this system one receiver tube is positioned above several mirrors to allow the mirrors greater mobility in tracking the sun. A linear concentrating system or a linear concentrating collector power plant has a large number of or field of collectors in parallel rows that are typically aligned in a north-south orientation to maximize solar energy collection. The configuration enables the mirrors to track the sun from east to west during the day and concentrate sunlight continuously onto the receiver tube. Now come to the solar power towers. Okay, a solar power tower system uses a large field or flat sun tracking mirrors called heliostars to reflect and concentrate sunlight onto a receiver on the top of a tower. Sunlight can be concentrated as much as 1500 times what is the actual solar radiation available. We can make the sunlight concentrated as much as 1500 times by using the solar power towers, okay, or by using the solar power tower system. Here we are using the flat mirrors or flat sun tracking mirrors, okay, which is able to concentrate the solar light or photons to a value of 1500 times. This is possible. Some power towers use water as the heat transfer fluid. Advanced designs are experimenting with molten nitrate salt because of its superior heat transfer and energy storage capability. The thermal energy storage capability allows the system to produce electricity during cloudy weather or at night also. Now come to solar dish engine system. Okay, so when I'm talking about solar dish engine system, this system uses a mirrored dish similar to a very large satellite dish. To reduce cost, the mirror dish is usually composed of many smaller flat mirrors formed into a dish shape. The dish-shaped surface directs and concentrates sunlight onto a thermal receiver which absorbs and collects the heat and transfers it to an engine generator. The most common type of heat engine used in this engine system is the stre- is the Stirling engine. This system uses the fluid heated by the receiver to move pistons and create mechanical power. The mechanical power runs a generator or alternator to produce electricity. Solar dish engine system always point straight at the sun and concentrate the solar energy at the focal point of the dish. Solar dish concentration ratio is much higher than a linear concentrating system, and it has a working fluid temperature higher than 1380 degree Fahrenheit. The power generating equipment used with solar dish can be mounted at the focal point of the dish, making it well suited for remote locations, or the energy may be collected from a number of installations and converted into electricity at a critical point. Thank you very much.